G'day everybody, welcome to AFL Legends Unite. I'm Darryl Atkinson and today I'm going to be previewing the West Coast and Sydney game, and this is probably not going to be that entertaining from my perspective of this match. This game is tonight at 6:10 p.m. in Perth. I just don't see Sydney getting up at all or getting anywhere near West Coast. The weather conditions are 28 degrees and sunny. Perfect conditions for the West Coast Eagles. I'm expecting them to run over Sydney by 40 points. Could be even a bigger margin just because they got more experience. They got some, more skills, and Sydney have got a much younger side. Including and the fact that West Coast last week against Richmond had plenty of scoring shots. I'll give you details here. They kicked 8 goals 11. 8 goals 11 plus 6 behinds were rushed. And 11 goals 8 for Richmond. So, and if you look at inside 50s, or actually with Richmond at 63 to 56. But yeah, they just weren't using their opportunities well. They were getting a lot of turnovers against them. But yeah, they just couldn't handle wet weather football as Richmond could. Richmond were very slick in those conditions, but because it's going to be dry, that's the game changer for them. It's going to be dry, it's going to be hot, it's going to be a humid night. So, that's perfect conditions for the West Coast Eagles right there. Looking at last week, I believe Mitchell actually was struggling last week. He was. So Mitchell only got 25 disposals, which is still, it's about average. For him, it's below average. I found they struggled against Martin, obviously. Kicked, I think it was 1 or 2 goals and got 40 disposals. But yeah, Gaff and Shuey are doing very well. They're probably their best. Mitchell having an off day, but yeah, Sydney were shocking against the Pies, particularly in the first half. It was a hard to watch football game. If you're a Swans supporter, I guess it may have been quite frustrating as well. But yeah, despite the fact Lloyd and Kennedy had plenty of the ball and Hannah's, looking at Lloyd, for instance, he had a 74% disposal efficiency, so that's not too bad. But he spent 91% of possession in defensive half. So that's not really that good. You don't really want to be stuck there for most of the game, really spending 9% up forward. So, it just raised a few questions there. But he gave away 11 turnovers and only got 5 intercepts. So that kind of just says, those are crucial moments. They're crucial moments. You can't give away the ball. You can't just, turn it over like that. You need to be able to be a bit more slick. As for Kennedy, he had a 56 disposal efficiency. He had 6 intercepts, only gave away 4 turnovers. So that's not too bad. Kicked 1 goal, 2. Gained 7 clearances. So that's pretty good. However, he had 4 inside 50s and only 1 rebound. So it's not too bad at all. And Hannah's, who was probably their third best player, spent 60% in the defence and 40% up forward. So you kind of see where they are, and he was they weren't really going through the middle too much, Sydney. They were mainly using the sides, which is where Collingwood kind of forced them into that little area, and it was like a choke point for them. So mainly reading here, when they're going up, when Hannah's is going up, he's always going towards the left flank, and that's where they're getting forced towards the boundary line, and that's how Collingwood played it. And then when they got the ball, their kicking was spot on. But yeah, West Coast just couldn't handle it. Hannah's gave away 2 turnovers, but got 4 intercepts, 18 uncontested possessions, 14 contested possessions, 4 marks, 2 inside 50s. What the hell? And my phone just, or the apps itself is just reloading. But yeah, so, you know, those key players, they're getting plenty of the ball, they're just not, they're not using it, they're not using it too well, to be honest. You know, there's a lot of problems there. And I just feel like that, you know, they need to clean up in those areas. They need to clean up with disposal efficiency. They need to be able to use the ball well. And they need to not just get easily trapped so easily on the flanks, you know? You try to use the centre corridor as much as possible. Don't get easily shut down in that department and forced left or right. You know, you're not going to win too many games like that. I have to go back because the app itself just froze, unfortunately, which is quite annoying because I'm trying to go back to that Sydney. But yeah, it's just not looking too good. Like, I think it's last week. Was that last week's stats? Just double checking something. No, it isn't. So the average. Yeah, there we go. Average. Okay. I don't know why it's not highlighted like that, but okay. Yeah, so looking at both sides' average and disposals, West Coast easily win that department. They average 402 disposals so far this season, while the Swans 359. So they're not getting too much of the ball. Clemson is actually quite even in favour of the Swans, 37-38. Inside 50s, 53 to 56 in favour of the Swans. Contested possessions, Swans actually win that average quite comfortably, 135 to 151. Tackles 62 to 77. Hitouts 40 to 42, and well, free kicks 22 to 19 in favour of the Eagles, but no one really gives a shit. Oh, except for the St Kilda supporters, obviously. But it's like, yes, I know West Coast struggled against St Kilda in that game in round 2, and I think the Saints still had what was it, 7 more scoring shots? 7 more scoring shots than West Coast. I'm just going to actually double check that because that is quite interesting. 6 more scoring shots than West Coast. They just couldn't convert. And then you look at disposals, however, were eased smashed by West Coast by 61 more disposals. Efficiency smashed by 5%. More than St Kilda, 75 to 70. And then you look at efficiency inside 50, 46 to 45%. So, you know, sorry, 46 to 45 so inside 50s, and the efficiency inside there's 57% to 60%. Oh, I hate that. Come on, AFL, seriously? What they've done here, right, guys? I'll show you that. So you see the disposals of efficiency there. I'm not sure if it's back to front or whatever it is. I think it could be back to front. Yeah, it's not going to work too well. Well, it's back to front on my screen. I'm not sure if it's going to behave like that in when I actually import or export it. But if it doesn't go back to front, then it should say scoring shots for instance. For West Coast, 26 from 46. Now that includes behinds, and I feel like when you're doing efficiency, you shouldn't add behinds. When you're scoring, you're not scoring for behinds, you're scoring for goals, and I think they should just add the goals. So, how many goals did they kick? So they kicked 18 goals from 46 shots, so I'll just quickly do the percentage for that. Yeah, I really don't like the idea of adding behinds. Like, I know it's a scoring shot, but it's just not really that relevant. 18 divided by 46 times 100 equals 39.13% scoring efficiency. So 39% if you round it down, that's shocking. That's shocking for AFL standard. And then you go to St Kilda, 20... I'm not doing that. It's 13 goals, right? They kicked, 13 goals. 13 goals from how many score shots? 45. It's probably going to be a bit more higher. Maybe. 13 divided by 45 times 100 Oh no, it's lower. 28%. Round it down, 29% because it's 28.88. So 29% accuracy. That's shocking. You call yourselves professionals? No. That's shocking. That's just horrendous. Every time you're having a scoring shot, you should be able to convert those goals. When you're inside 50, you convert it. For instance, I want to actually... Oh no, I'll do that in the next video. In another video. But anyway, yeah, so for me, we'll quickly look at both sides' lineups. For West Coast, in defence, we got Shepherd, Barros, Sharrod, Wellingham, also in defence, and halfback we've got Herm, McGovern, and Nelson. Centres in Marston, Prentice, and Gio. Followers in Gill, Shuey, and Mitchell. No surprises really there. Half forward in Gaff, Darling, Cripps. Forwards in Lacroix, Kennedy, and Josh Hill. And interchanges in Redden, Dugan, Vardy, and Butler. Emergencies in Sheed, Schofield, and Miller. Matano or something? It must be a new kid. Anyway, ins for the... So Duggan and Butler come in, and out Jeddah and Hutchings, they were omitted. Probably, honestly, the only reason they'll be omitted for international viewers is... In other words, they were playing poorly last week, and the coach didn't really think they deserved to remain on the side. So they go into the twos, or as we like to call them, or other words, the reserves, and they get replaced by players that perform at a decent rate from those reserves. Anyway, to Sydney's lineup, in defence we've got Jones, Grundy, and Smith. Halfback in Newman, Aliyah, and Mills. Lloyd, Kennedy, and Jack in the centre. Followers in Sinclair, Parker, and Hennebury. Half forwards in Cunningham, Franklin, and Hewitt. Forwards in Hayward, Reed, and Florent. Interchanges in Foot, Fox, Marsh, and Papley. And emergencies in Dawson, Jack, Melican. Cunningham and Papley come in. Dawson omitted, and Naismith had a knee injury, so he's out, unfortunately. But yes, looking at those lineups, looking at the weather, looking at the home stadium, I am sorry, Sydney supporters, but I am going to stick with the tip at West Coast by 40 points in a comfortable, easy win. Anyway, guys, that's it from me here. Good luck to both sides. Sydney supporters, anything's possible. You know, you look at last week, and a lot of people were devastated because their tips were in chaos. I think I got five out of the 9 right. Unfortunately, I think I tipped Melbourne, I think, to beat the Cats. And I got that wrong. And no, it wasn't that. It was Gold Coast, Carlton, Sydney, and West Coast. They were the 4 I got wrong. So, but the others I got right. No, because I did tip Geelong in that Melbourne clash. But anyway, no, I'm very lucky there. Anyway, guys, you guys all take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.